Neighbor kept treating my driveway like free parking, so I taught him a $300 lesson by user Gotenks 972. Okay, so this is a bit long, but I need to get it off my chest. I live in a small cul-de-sac, nothing fancy, just your average neighborhood. My driveway fits 2 cars, mine plus my husband is perfectly fine. For the most part, everyone here minds their own business. Except my neighbor, let's just call him Jack. For whatever reason, he thinks my driveway is like extra parking for his family/friends. First time it happened, I thought it was a mistake. His brother's car was in there, he said it'd just be a sec. A week later, it was some friend of his dropping something off. I didn't love it, but I figured whatever, not worth making it awkward. But it kept happening. I'd come home from work, I am a nurse, so some days I am wiped out, and there is a random car blocking me. One night I literally had to park halfway down the street and carry 5 bags of groceries because his buddy's truck was in my spot. Every time I said something, he'd do that half smile and go, "Oh yeah, sorry, they'll be gone soon." Like I am the one being difficult. The final straw, I get home late Friday night after a 12-hour shift. Still in scrubs, starving, with takeout that is already getting cold in the passenger seat. And boom, giant white SUV just parked dead center in my driveway. Not even off to the side. Like full on blocking me from even pulling in. I knock, no answer. I call Jack, he finally picks up and super casual goes, "Oh yeah, that's my in-laws, they'll only be there a couple hours, just park on the street, it's not a big deal." That was it for me. I called a tow truck. And yes, I checked before where I live, if someone blocks your private driveway, you're allowed to tow immediately. Tow guy showed up in 20 minutes, SUV was gone before I even finished half my fries. About an hour later, furious pounding on my door. Jack SB read his in-laws are yelling in the background, and he is going off about how I didn't have to take it that far. I just said, "You told me it wasn't a big deal, so I treated it like it wasn't a big deal." Then I closed the door. They had to pay almost $300 to get their car back. And funny enough, ever since then, my driveway has stayed crystal clear. Not even for just a sec. Neighbor's aggressive dogs kept attacking mine, so I went full neighborhood tattletale by user acrobatic and Sipmanus 86. For context, I have 3 dogs. I am super conscious of being a responsible owner. If they bark outside, they rebrought in immediately, and each one of them has been trained extensively in obedience. My neighbors also have 3 dogs. When they first moved in, they were shocked at how well trained mine were. I could tell it made them insecure because theirs were still out of control, reactive, and constantly barking. So when they would see me address mine, they would tell me don't do that, they're just being dogs and doing their job. Translation, they don't want to feel bad about their own dog's chaotic behavior. Now my yard is fenced in with a vinyl picket fence $8. They built the fence using mine as the 4th wall, which wasn't an issue until one of their dogs started repeatedly trying to break through my fence to attack mine. I went above and beyond to avoid conflict and installed privacy backing on my fence and planted $15 was $1 more in an attempt to block their view so their dog wouldn't go berserk. Neighbor's husband literally mocked me, saying that it's not gonna work, they'll still hear each other. Spoiler, he was right. So after the extra financial investment and labor-intensive work of planting the bushes didn't work, I sent a polite, carefully worded text and asked that they prevent their dog from attacking my fence, as I was concerned it was gonna eventually break, offered solutions, emphasized safety, and said I still wanted to maintain good rapport with one another. Their response: play the victim and blame my dogs. Then I started getting unhinged text from the wife about how my message ruined her week and how stressful this is for them and how I owed her an apology. Eventually, they put up a 6 privacy fence attached to mine illegal height, but whatever, since they now hate me, I prefer not seeing them, hence why I didn't report it to the town. Problem solved, right? Nope. They started letting their dogs off leash in the unfenced areas. I ended up getting security cameras installed, and thank God I did, because I caught everything on video. The same dog trying to break through my fence to attack my dogs, the other 2 running into my garden, and all of them running at large in the street where people walk constantly. After they started cursing me out when their dog tried attacking mine, I got the police involved, which infuriated her. The lieutenant himself told me to keep sending every clip and he'd find them every single time. He was genuinely concerned about safety in the neighborhood after seeing my footage. Now for the petty revenge tonight. I caught them on camera walking their dog in a wildlife refuge across the street. Dog poops. They don't pick it up. My neighborhood has a FB group where people constantly complain about mystery poop. So this time, instead of ignoring it, I sent the video to our community leader. He told me to post it publicly and also asked that I email every resident about their behavior. Done. Now the entire neighborhood knows they read the scumbags who let their dogs off a leash, have an aggressive dog trying to attack others. Don't pick up after them. People even commented they've stopped walking on our block because they felt unsafe, and others said they always wondered who was leaving the piles all over. Even better, our community leader also personally went over to shame them and said he'd bring it up with the cops to power in numbers, baby. So tonight, instead of me being frustrated, they got called out publicly, shamed privately, and will likely get fined again soon. And I got to sit back knowing every single word I said was backed by video evidence with no way for them to spin it. Don't get your panties in a twist. I'll be gone in 5 minutes anyway. Bye user, sure 'tis grand. The year is 2001. It's 8 a.m. and I'm late to the first class of the day with a professor that hates my guts. The pressure is real and I am getting my studentship books car out of the underground garage only to find the exit blocked by a black Nissan X-Trail. Based on the pristine condition of its paint, the poor thing had most likely never left town, and the worst obstacle it had surmounted was the curb it was now proudly blocking. Out of the vehicle steps out a creature the locals this is south of France call a cagole. For those of you too lazy to look it up, picture bleached blonde hair with a solid 5 cm of dark root showing, skin so tanned it looks like leather, a wide open mouth full of chewing gum with a gaulless couple cigarettes somehow precariously stuck in the corner of her mouth. Granted, I could have reacted more politely, but a combination of stress, sleeplessness, and general frustration to the fact that it was the 3rd time in 5 days that somebody had decided to ignore the big underground parking door studded with 3 no parking signs got the better of me, and I honked and yelled, asking her to move her car. No. Please. Thank you. All I got in return was a finger and the scream, "Don't get your panties in a twist now, asshole. I'll be gone in 5 minutes anyway, so chill," before she disappeared in one of the nearby businesses. 5 minutes pass. No sign of the cagole. 5 more minutes. Nothing. Another 5. Surprisingly enough, still nothing. At this point, I am guaranteed to miss the start of my class and am already looking forward to the stern and condescending scolding of the professor. I am delighted my mood is improving by leaps and bounds, and I resign myself to the obvious: the lady is not coming back anytime soon, and my only 2 choices left are either to somehow convince her to move her car or get it towed away. Since I had not been the most civil during first interaction with her, I decide to mend my way, enter the premises she disappeared in 15 minutes ago, and find her sitting cozily with a cup of coffee and another cigarette doing small talk. If looks could kill, I would have been reduced to atoms on the spot. She answered my question with a colorful "Fuck off, you little shit. Can't you see I'm working here? Piss off. I'll be done in half an hour anyway, so what are you complaining about? Get the fuck out of here." She actually did come out 30 minutes later and would have escaped the tow truck had it not been for her 4 fully deflated tires. So instead she spent 15 minutes working on her tan next to her car before the police removed it and gave her a ticket for illegal parking and another ticket for disorderly conduct and disrespect for the police force. It's never a good idea to swear and curse at cops. Also, to this day, I still wonder if she noticed the potato I squeezed in her exhaust pipe. Wanna park like in a hole? Get trapped like in a hole. No. I went to the mall yesterday to go to my local Barnes & Noble. This mall-esque Barnes & Noble parking area is like always full, but I found a cute little spot and I parked my happy-ass car in it. Well, once I've finished spending a ridiculous amount of money on books I'll never read, I come back to my car only to find that the car I'd parked next to mine driver's side so fucking close a child would not be able to squeeze in there. I do the old crawl and through passenger side maneuver, very annoyed, and I am like, well, that was fucking annoying, let me just leave, and then I realize, why should this asshole get the pleasure of entering their car all happily when I did not? So I take a gamble that the car on their driver's side will leave before them. I am waiting outside, I shit you not even 2 minutes later someone's happy ass walks out of the Barnes & Noble, presumably with books they will never read. He gets into the car next to asshole's car and leaves. Happy not reading to you, my friend, I love you. I get back in my car and pull into the spot so close a child would not be able to fit through it. It took some effort to park that shitty. And I wait again outside, of course. About 15 minutes of Reddit scrolling later, someone's happy smug ass walks out of the Barnes & Noble and his smugness is instantly crushed when they realize, oh no, my car is so close to this car that a child could not fit through. I smile. I could do this all day. I watch him struggle to get from the passenger side seat to the driver's seat because, oh yeah, I forgot to mention. This guy is not skinny and he was tall, like at least 5'11". I am 5'2" and did the passenger to driver seat gymnastics in under half a minute. This guy struggled for like 3 minutes trying to get his legs to the other side. Once I see him almost done with his gymnastics, doesn't he feel nice when it happens to you is all I am thinking. I walk over to my car and get in and reverse out. I make sure to glance at him and smile, then give him the finger. He looks bewildered, already enraged about this 3 minutes of struggle. Why would I flip him off? A look of realization crosses his face. I like to think his dumb ass just realized that my car was on the other side before. Think before parking like an asshole. At it, since a couple people asked, no, he was not in the line. He was over the line. This mall has the type of parking where every spot is like double line, not sure how else to explain, but he was not in either set of lines, lol. The horrible entitled bit sketch during the breakup. Enjoy paying for it. I had a horrendous breakup with my ex-fiancé around 8 years back. Highlights of this breakup include: 1. I should pay her new deposit on an apartment that she couldn't afford and expected me to pay rent with the money from my new job overseas. 2. Demanding I'd take out loans and credit cards to fund her lifestyle after we broke up. 3. After we broke up, stormed into a family event and yelled about what a horrible partner I was and said I cheated on her. I didn't. 4. Had to get a restraining order after she followed me home from work. So after all of the above that happened, after 2 months I had moved overseas to a better job. However, I didn't have much savings as I had literally sold everything and packed a suitcase. The exchange rate was also 2.3 to 1. This meant that my money wouldn't go as far. I had to live off my very meager savings until my first paycheck. This meant I lived off noodles, oats and bananas. I was quite hungry one evening and was desperately hungry. I opened Uber Eats to look for a small meal. While browsing, I realized that my ex's credit card was linked to the account. I wasn't sure why this was, so I ordered a really big pizza with all the sides, and guess what? It went through. I did this for the 2 weeks before my first paycheck came through. I did this for another 2 weeks when the card stopped working. TLDR, enjoyed my food. It was delicious.